Well, good morning, everyone. From Paiute State Park here in Utah. It's 6:30 a.m. and this is day 3 of our Let's Get to Wyoming series. I've already had a little bit of breakfast, taking care of a few things. Got to finish up my coffee, and then we'll pack up the trailer and head north. See how far we can get today. We didn't do very well yesterday, but yesterday I slept for like 2 more hours. I was pretty darn tired. But look at the lake. I mean, this is nice, huh? If you wanted to camp right here, you could camp right here. Yeah, you could. All right, so there's your early morning view of the lake here at Paiute, but we're going to get out of here. That was really the end of yesterday's video and the beginning of today's video. Let's get out of here. Let's see what else we can find as we try to get close to the border of Wyoming and then decide, are we going to cross into Wyoming today or should we save that for tomorrow? Depends on camping possibilities, temperatures, a lot of ins and outs, a lot of what have yous. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Come along with me. Let's do it. Okay, everybody.
Turn right onto US 89 North.
We're going to turn right onto US 89 North. We are leaving wherever I was. Paiute State Park. I'm not going to pull out yet because we got some people driving fast. Here we go. And we're off. All right. So, fasten your seatbelts. Let's go for a ride. Windows up. It's going to be a hot day today, but right now, I love that the evenings cool off so far. Yeah, it's 61 degrees outside. I think we're looking for 88 or something in Vernal. I don't know. We'll find out when we get there. It's all good. So thanks for coming with me, you guys. This is day 3 of our Going to Wyoming series. Look at that operation in the middle of nowhere, Utah. What do we think we've got here? Chickens? Pigs? I don't know. I long for the old days when the animals were just out roaming around in a field like that. All right, going through another small town. Lizzie and Charlie's RV park. That sounds fun. A lot of history. Marysville. This is Emerytown, established 1883. Okay, that was it. Yeah, good times. Just driving around, looking for places to sleep, checking stuff out. There's not a whole lot of roadside attractions right at the moment. And the scenery's not, award-winning. It's always interesting. There we go. All right, the landscape's changed a little bit. We're kind of in a valley. Towering cliffs on both sides. It takes a lot longer to get to where you're going on these back roads, but it sure is fun. This road would be treacherous in the wintertime. You know, they get a lot of snow up here. There's no guardrail. There's no divided road here. This would be terrifying to drive in a heavy snow. It's kind of terrifying right now. As you go off the road here to the right, you're going down quick. There's lots of big trucks coming the other way. So if they cross over that middle line, everybody's in trouble. Have we reached the summit? Now we got to go all the way back down. That's kind of a shame. I like the altitude. Yeah, look at that. We're at 9,114 feet. 9,100 feet. Talk about getting high. We're in the Ashley National Forest. That's where I'm hoping to camp tonight. Well, they're working on the road, so everybody's come to a stop. On these two-lane roads, when they have to work on them, they close down one lane while they work on one lane. So now we're going to get escorted. They escort people from the bottom up here, and then they'll escort us down past the construction. All right, we're moving back to the right side of the road. We might be through the construction. See these big trucks? Look at this. Very interesting. There's an occasional car. It's a lot of big trucks. Wonder what we're doing. Looks like petroleum products to me. Smooth sailing from here on. Okay, guys, it's been a bit. I've been driving now for 6.5 hours, almost 7 hours. I'm getting tired. Now, I just went through Vernal, Utah, and now I'm heading north. There was a state park right there on a lake. I could have stayed at the state park, but it's like 90 degrees here. So we're going north. We're going to get some altitude and find some cool weather. And instead of paying for the state park, we're going to find some free camping on National Forest land. What do you say? Oh, I wanted to update you guys on my gas mileage situation. People are always curious about that. I checked. Now I've gone over 700 miles total. And my gas mileage has jumped up. I was happy with that 15.5. Now it's 16 miles per gallon average over that whole 700 plus mile trip so far, which is very interesting. Why I double checked is I also have an indicator that tells me what my average mileage is for the last 50 miles. Whenever you check it, it's just whatever the last 50 miles were, that's what your gas mileage is. And it jumped all the way up to 20 miles to the gallon. Can you believe that? So towing with a full truck, all of a sudden, for the first time ever, I was getting 20 miles to the gallon, and that was not going downhill, by the way. So I wanted to run this by you guys. Since I've entered Utah, I know Utah and Wyoming are the same with the gasoline thing. The Maverick gas station, and probably all of them, but I don't know. Maverick has what they call clear gas. One of the pump selections you can pick is called clear gas. It's got an 88 octane rating, but it doesn't have any like ethanol. There's no ethanol in the clear gas. I've noticed lately that that there's 10% ethanol in all our fuel, and sometimes they've upped it to 15% ethanol in all our fuel. And if the pump with the 15 designation warns you not to put it in any cars older than 2001. It will damage the engine. Very interesting. So I'm supposed to think it's perfectly fine for my engine, but it'll destroy an older engine, 2001 or older. It also says don't put it into your lawnmower, your small engine devices, gas engines. It'll destroy those too. So I'm thinking ethanol is bad. Just saying. Now, I started pumping that clear stuff in, and it costs a little bit more, and the gas mileage has drastically improved. So I thought I'd run it by you guys. I'm going to only put clear gas in for the whole time I'm up here, that's for sure. But I'm getting much better gas mileage. Very interesting. So there you have my spiel on clear gas and the possibility that you get much better gas mileage, which means it's probably, the engine's running more efficient. Blah, 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 everything. Yeah, I'm not good at... When I was young, I could drive for 24 hours. Now, I am over it. We're going to be gaining altitude fast now. When you get the hairpin turn, these are basically switchbacks. Thanks for staying with me, you guys. I left you out of a lot of boring landscape. If I recorded all that and then tried to show all that to you, you'd click away, or you'd fall asleep. So I pulled off right here, off the side of the road. There was just a little, we'll take a look here, little pull off right next to the Ashley National Forest sign. But there's your view. It's still pretty hazy. There was a fire 6 hours ago. That could be a lot of what we're seeing. But yeah, I'm very excited because right here, I'm not going to walk up to it. I'll read it to you. There's a sign right there. You can probably see. And it says recreational camping, 14-day stay limit. So they're just painting a broad brush there. Anything beyond that sign, probably. Whew, here comes the wind. Let's get back in. Wind almost tore my door off. Okay, I'm going to shut this down for a second. Let's find a campsite. Okay, everyone. Made it to Forest Road. Well, let me show you. This is where I came from, right there. And this is Forest Road 217. All right, so there's the dragon. There's the shoebox. We're going to head in there and see if I can't find a wonderful place to camp. All right, let's see if we can drive this and do some video at the same time. Here's a cattle guard we're crossing. This is what you'll see when you get off the road. And there's our pit toilet. They've got a big storyboard there. Welcome to the Ashley National Forest. We're in bear country. That's good to know. But it's plenty windy here. Look, it says 14-day stay limit. Oh, 16 days. 16 days, but it says residential camping prohibited. Yeah, they have to put that on the sign. There's some a lot of people are taking up this lifestyle because they've been forced out of their living quarters. They can't afford rent anymore, and that's all fine and dandy. But then they get some kind of a recreational vehicle. Whatever it's a car or a camper, doesn't matter, and they come out here on public land and they just squat. They don't move in 14 days. They don't move in 30 days. They don't move till the ranger comes and evicts them, and by then there's usually a huge mess. They usually have garbage. You know what I'm talking about. Now, where to go? I was up here a year ago and I camped back in there, and that might be just fine. This is just for the night. I kind of wanted to get in and hide in the trees. But isn't this nice? This is all free. National Forest land. And there's a few rigs up here. This road's in pretty good shape. We've got a guy here. And see, there's a big space way back there. You can bring big groups up in here. Look at these big flat areas where you can spread out. This guy, he's not home. His truck's not there. He's got a big fifth wheel right in there. That's beautiful. But what I don't want is anyone around me. I like to be by myself. And that's the problem. I get back in here and there's people. There's a guy in a van back here. That's a nice big flat spot. We're going to keep going. Look, here's a guy here with a cargo trailer. And there's a really big rig over here. Oh, he's pulling. It's a big Class C pulling a big trailer. He's probably got lots of toys. That's a nice one. That's one of those freight liners. Wow, now the road splits. Hang on. Oh, I gotta get out. Hang on. Oh. What have we got here? This is kind of creepy now. You guys are never going to want to come here. Look at these giant cockroach type things. Can you see these? What are you guys? They're creepy looking though. Yeah, I definitely don't want those guys jumping into bed with me, huh? Look at that. Look at this guy. Hello there, buddy. You're just going to freeze? Yeah, he's freezing. Using the freezing technique. This guy's facing off. He's staring right at me. Look at him. Yeah? What are you? They're giant crickets, maybe? Very cool. Yeah, they're not a cockroach. They look like a big giant cricket. There's a whole bunch of them running all around here. There's thousands of them. Look at them all. See them all jumping? Look at those guys. Not going to want to camp right here. So I'm going to turn around and go back to that original spot. And I'll set up camp and bring you back. All right, sound like a plan? All right, well, I got the tab situated. We're all squared away, ready for the night. I'll show you my setup here. This is a lovely spot. This is, again, Forest Road 217. This is in the Ashley National Forest, and we're in Utah in the northeast corner. We're we're heading for Flaming Gorge, if you want to, point of reference. This is a wonderful spot, though. Let me swing this around. And it's it's aspen groves. It's aspen groves. I'd swing this all around. There's a meadow behind me. But look what I've got here. I'm just here in the aspens. It's totally quiet. It's nice and breezy. I love the light and the wind on the leaves of the aspen tree. They just shimmer. They shimmer. Yeah, this is another wonderful canvas that God has painted for us. And we have the opportunity to enjoy it. Now, think about it. I'll say it again. Look at this. This is where I am. This is my front porch, right? Right? Tow vehicle, pointed out, ready to go. I'm still hooked up. I'm leveled out, pretty much. and this is my view. This is really unbelievable. This is my view right here. And it's free. It's free. It's usually 14-day stay limit. Here in the Ashley, apparently, according to the sign, it's 16 days, so they gave us an extra couple days, which is just marvelous. If you look around, look what I've got out here for a view. Now, I've got one neighbor. I don't know if you can see. My finger will work. I don't know if it'll really, but right in those aspen trees, we've got a rig, right? And then he's probably, 300 yards away, easy? And then like a good 600 yards away, you probably can't see. Way out here, I've got a rig in the trees, in the aspens. It's just fabulous, and it's free for 14 days. Yeah, people say, I sugarcoat this lifestyle and all this stuff, and I just enjoy it out here. I'm not sugarcoating anything. I've had a rough 5 weeks that just went by. I could tell you a story this morning. I had a horrific morning. I'm not going to do that because that'll happen anywhere. Those kinds of things happen to us, whether we're sitting on our couch in our sticks and bricks or whether we're out here in the middle of nowhere. But it might be a little bit harder to deal with when you're out here in the middle of nowhere. But you do, and you figure it out, and it gets easier as time goes by. But yeah, some people just don't appreciate this. See, I loved this already, I'm the guy that was in the Boy Scouts going into the backcountry for 2 weeks at a time with just whatever we could carry on our backs. A lot of people who have been, living in an apartment or a house their entire lives never went outside, and now they're getting evicted. They're on Social Security. They're forced into this van life situation, and so they're not embracing it. You know what I mean? They're not embracing it, and that's okay. We're not all the same. Not everyone thinks this is beautiful where I am right now. Not everyone thinks this is a perfect situation, that you can just be relaxed out here in the peace and the quiet by myself. I can clear my head. I can get some exercise. I can bike. I can hike. And once you get over the fear, you know, once you figure out where to stay, I have to admit in the beginning it was very sketchy because I didn't know where I was going to spend the night. I didn't know where I was allowed to. How do you find those places? I got to find a place to do laundry. All the things you have to figure out to do this, to make that change. But once you do, then you're good to go. You know, laundry's a big pain in the neck. That takes hours when you're like, because you have to go to a laundromat, you have to find one. But after a while, if you travel around, you know where they are because you've used them already. You know, and it would take years to be a really seasoned nomad and know every little spot to go, blah, blah, blah. But that's part of the adventure too. Like, I'm just driving, and then when I get to where I need to be somewhere within 2 hours so I can sleep. Now it's game on. We got to find a place to stay. And I've found enough over just the last year. It's only been a year. Like, I was here in this exact spot last year for the very first time. And it's beautiful. It's wonderful. The spot I was 2 nights ago, where was I? In the Kaibab National Forest, up there by Jacob Lake. I've never been up there before. And I was just looking for a place to sleep for free for the night, you know, pull off the road and do that. And I found a place that I can't wait to get back to and spend 14 days exploring. Beautiful. So anyway, I digress. So for you guys that think that this is all being sugar-coated and the nomad life is hard and it's horrible, well, for some people it is, you know. Some people it is. I also was planning for this for 5 years. I didn't just get dumped on the street when I got kicked out of my apartment. People wait too long. They wait too long. You know, your rent's going to keep going up, but your income is not if you're on disability or Social Security, whatever. You know, you'll get a little raise, you'll get a little bump, but it's not going to keep up with your landlord jacking up your rent $200 a month overnight. And so you just, you know, if you can pay it, pay it. But if it looks like down the road you're going to get to a spot where that you can't do that, you have to get ready. You have to figure it out. You have to get, at the very least, you have to have a vehicle. At the very least, a vehicle you can be in that's not going to break down every 5 minutes. You need a vehicle you can travel around in, preferably an SUV or a minivan, right? Something like that with a little bit of room. But start thinking about it. And I don't know what to tell you if you hate being outside. There's people that they do this urban thing, you know. God, I really went off on a tangent here, didn't I? A lot of people do the urban, like Minivan Lee. Watch Minivan Lee. If you're a senior citizen and you don't want to leave the city, but you have to live in your vehicle, she's the ultimate stealthy urban camper. You know, I can't do that with my rig, and I don't want to do that. I want to get as far from the city as I can get. The only time I want to be in a city at all is to resupply. That's it. But that's me. You know, some people want to be in town. Some people want to go to a coffee shop every day. They have a membership at the gym so they can take a shower and get some exercise. You know, they hang out at the public park. They like Lee, she knows Tucson really well, so she can just move around as if she lived in an apartment or a house, but she lives in a minivan. She's an urban camper and she's got a real positive attitude. Check her out. But point being, you just got to be ready. Once you're on the street with absolutely nothing but the shirt on your back, you're screwed. It's too late. It's over. All right? Well, it is. Think about it. I mean, then you got to figure it out. But no, it could be worse. It could be worse. It's really pretty phenomenal, the quality of life. But I like it. Like I said, I like it out here. But anyway, let's get back on the subject. Here's my spot. Off Forest Road 217 up here in the Ashley National Forest in northeastern Utah. And this is day 3 of our Let's Go to Wyoming series here at My Shoebox Adventures. But so here's what we got going. I just pulled in here and spun around so I'd be facing the right direction when it's time to go. Again, I had to boost up the back end of the truck to get the camper a little more level so it's not leaning down so much. And I like this. This side was down slightly. I found a piece of wood, Cool piece of wood. So I drove up on that piece of wood there. Natural, huh? And there you go. I'm not gonna, I'm such a goofball. I've got a bladder. This is my backpack. And it's, you know, it's hydration. I've got a hydration bladder in here. And I left the valve, where am I? I left this valve turned on. It's a bite valve, but it's got an on-off, that little yellow thing at the top, and I left it on after I last used it. And I guess something got on top of the valve in there. I had it in there by the bed and squeezed it open. And of course, with, we're coming up in altitude, so the pressure differential. That's why that shirt is there, because a whole bunch of stuff got soaking wet inside the camper because I'm such a genius. Didn't close the valve in my mind. So I'm going to let this one go. Thanks for joining me. I hope it was entertaining. I was mostly just driving. There weren't any really super fun points of interest on today's drive. And I don't think there's going to be tomorrow either. But come along with me. Check it. And if you haven't, subscribe, do that. Give me a thumbs up if you can. Helps that algorithm that's completely standing still right now. Oh, golly. All right, Anna, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right? Thanks again. God bless you guys. Be safe. Bye-bye now.